In this video, we're going to be talking about how much it actually costs to build a rank and rent website. We're going to be breaking down all the actual hard costs, at least what it costs me, and I'm going to be very, very conservative. If you haven't already, we have an entire podcast episode on this in our podcast, the Digital Real Estate Secrets podcast. We'll try and put this in the description. I think it's episode, hold on, I think it's episode 3. Yes, episode 3 of the Digital Real Estate Secrets podcast. You guys can check that out. We're going to be discussing the high level and the quicker version of what it actually costs to build one of these projects. Now, for those of you that don't even know what I'm talking about, when we say a rank and rent website, we mean a website that generates cash. We mean a website that you build, you rank it on Google, and then you rent the phone calls to a local business owner. Very, very simple business model. It's the only thing that we talk about on this channel. It is what allowed me to live the life that I've been able to live in the past 5 years. I'm actually currently filming this from Dubai. Just to give you some context, I travel a lot. I'm moving. I'm seeing if I want to go somewhere, I go there. If I want to do something, I do it. It has given me an incredible life, and that is what we're talking about on this podcast. If you guys don't know, or sorry, on this video, if you don't know who I am, I've shared my story. It seems like a zillion times, but for the new people, I've been doing this 8 years. I've lost a lot of money doing this. I've made a lot of money doing this. In 2020, we made our first 7 figures, not selling a course, not selling tools, not the people that were selling the shovels and the picks, during the California Gold Rush. This is actually doing the model, building simple websites, ranking them on Google, renting them to local business owners, and we were able to scale up to $100,000 per month in July of 2020, and we have not looked back. 2021, we did $1.45 million. In 2022, we did multiple 7 figures. 2023, the same thing, and we are on pace to do the exact same thing this year in 2024. Guys, let's talk about the actual hard cost. Now, I'm going to show you guys really, really quick for those that have no idea what I'm talking about. I always want to remember that there could be and probably are people that this is their very first video ever of hearing about me or hearing about this business model. And so I don't want to assume anyone knows anything. So let me just go ahead. I'm going to share my screen quickly. And I'm going to show you when I say one of these websites, what that actually means, what these actually look like. These are very basic. These are very simple, but they are cash generating machines. I think of them as like, if you guys have seen Despicable Me, that he's got the minions, Gru's got the minions. They're out, they're always working, whatever. Now the minions seem to have emotions. They seem to have a little bit of personality, but let's assume that they didn't. That's what these are like. This is like the perfect employee that's always working 24/7, doesn't need holidays, doesn't get sick, doesn't have emotions, doesn't need any catering or coddling, or you're doing a good job or anything like that. Doesn't need a raise. These things are workhorses. You build them, you set them free into the internet, into the interwebs, and they go to work while you're sleeping, while you're eating. Today I woke up, guys, being very transparent. I woke up like 10:19, 10, and by the time I actually got to bed, it was like 10:40. Didn't feel well. Been trying to hit the elderberry gummies, some vitamin C, whatever. Not feeling great today. And I woke up and I was like, man, this isn't really a productive day thus far. It has been since then. However, I went in, I looked, I'm like, let's see what came in so far today. Now, this doesn't mean this is the only money that's going to come in today, but I did notice at 4:47 a.m. and for some reason, it always hits different when here, I'm going to actually screenshot this, and here, hold on. I'm going to screenshot this so I can show you guys this. I'll try to get rid of any of the sensitive details like my bank information, but I can probably show you this. Hold on. Go to my photos. Anyway, I woke up at 4:40, or I woke up at whatever time, and at 4:47, I had this nice, sweet little notification. I'm trying to see if you guys can see it. Okay, so $930.08 came in. It's going to be, if you guys can see it there, on October 31st, that's today, it's going to be hitting the bank. And I hadn't done anything. I had just been sleeping. That's the beautiful thing about it. So this is what a website looks like. And we're going to talk about what it costs to build one of these. This website right here, I went ahead and I pulled up my Stripe account and looked in to see how much money this website has made me. We put this deal together right at the beginning of the old Corona back in 2020. I remember I was sitting at a restaurant. It was literally that week. It was a couple days later that everything went crazy. I was at the supermarket. People were buying everything off the shelves and everyone was going ballistic. So we've had this client since then, has never quit on us, never taken a break, never said, hey, we don't want to work with you anymore, has paid me $53,300 from this website, okay? Now, I know it doesn't look like much, and it ain't much. It's very, I call it a beater site. I call it a freaking the GeoMetro of websites. It's nothing crazy, but this thing produces cash. This thing is actually, and actually, you know what I'm going to show you guys, or I'm going to tell you guys, I actually looked this up this morning just to kind of put this in perspective. This website right here that I'm showing you, that we're going to talk about how much it actually costs. This website actually has produced, hold on, has produced on average 30.8 calls on average per month the entire year. That's just taking an average, as well as an additional 9.2 leads through the quote form. If you see on that, if you go back a little bit, you can see there's a quote form. You can put your name, you can put your phone number, whatever. So it's another 9.2. So this thing is producing almost 40 leads per month. It is producing $375 per week is what we're charging the business owner. That has changed a little bit because it started lower, then we increased because the leads got increased as well. And this thing has been on autopilot ever since. Now, I will be fully transparent. We have added, because we're trying to help the business owner out, we have added some ads into that. So of that $1,500, whatever that total amount we're collecting is, we are spending some of that money on ads to make sure he's happy, to make sure he's growing, etc. However, we have made $53,300. I'm not mad about it. Okay. So guys, let's get into what it actually costs to build one of these projects. And I had all these pulled up because I had the details and all the actual exact figures pulled up. So let me pull that up again since I went out of it. Okay. So here's what you're going to need, guys. Just going right brass tacks. You're going to need a domain. And if you don't know what any of these things are, you can literally just search what is a domain. Basically, think about a domain as like the www dot. I didn't even know what that word meant. It is the website, essentially. Okay, you're going to need a domain. It's going to cost you yearly, or if you want to break it down, monthly. You're going to need hosting. You're going to need a tracking phone number. You're going to also need some images. You're going to need content. You're going to need backlinks, and that's it. Now, some of these are recurring costs. Some of these are fixed costs or one-time costs, and we're going to break that down really quick. Okay. That said, let's get right into it so we can end this video and you guys can get to building websites. You can get to doing deals, inking deals, building your future, building your empire so you guys can go and travel to Dubai, travel to Africa, travel to freaking Asia, or not travel at all and just do what you want to do. Sit, write books, you know, be a humanitarian person, whatever it is that's your cup of tea. It's the game is we want to be free. Everyone wants to be free. They want time freedom. They want financial freedom. They want time. What is the three freedoms? It's the time freedom, the financial freedom, and the location freedom. I'm from Dubai and I forgot. Location freedom. Travel wherever you want, make money from wherever you want. Financial freedom, do what you want with the money, and then time freedom, do it when you want, how you want, whatever. Okay. All right, guys. So the domain, you're going to need a domain. You're going to need the www dot. It is going to cost you, if you, then again, I'm going to be very conservative on my figures because I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't want to have someone come out and say, oh, it's more. I'm always going to tell you the conservative number, and it's most likely going to be less. Okay. The domain is going to cost you $24 per year. This is USD, or $199 per month if you want me to break it down that way. Now, usually GoDaddy will give you a deal on that first year. I think it's like 13 bucks a year for the first year. And then it goes to $24. Now, I know there's other places to get it. It's cheaper. And some of you guys are like trying to cut costs, whatever. I buy all my stuff from GoDaddy. It's 24 bucks a year, $2 a month. So you got that. Okay. So let's just say $2 a month. Then you've got the privacy. You don't have to get the privacy, but I don't like people knowing that I'm on the website and be able to call me and contact me and everything else. It's between $9.99 and $14.99 per year. So again, let's call that $1 a month, just to make it easy, $1.10 per month. So we're now at $3 per month. Okay. Then you're going to need the hosting. Now I'm going to give you a very conservative number because everyone that's watching is going to go, oh my gosh, that's so very expensive. It's going to be way less than that. And it's probably true. But I like to use a platform called Weebly, or I also like to use Duda. I also like to use Wix. These platforms, because they're simple, they do charge you more money for hosting. But if you were somebody that used WordPress, and there's things like I think it's called Site Panda or something like that, you can get them for much cheaper. But for me, my average hosting bill is $15 to $30 per month. It's a flat fee. Now, I know that sounds aggressive for some of you guys that are like the nerdy people. They're like, I would never pay that. Some people pay like as low as $2 per site. I don't really want to learn WordPress, and I haven't migrated all my stuff to SitePanda, whatever. So I pay 15 to 30 bucks. So let's just assume on the high end it's 30 bucks. So we got $3 plus 30, we're at $33, $33 per month so far. And then you need your tracking number. This is the last recurring cost that you're going to need. You can get these for $9 per month from a service called CallRail. What I just recently went to is a service and a software called rankandrentengine.com. It's actually one of my students, Ryan Dalton, that built this thing from the ground up. It's a software for rank and renters by a rank and renter. And you can actually buy your numbers through Twilio inside the platform for much cheaper. So I'm just letting you know what I started at. And now we are doing everything through Rank and Rent Engine, which is technically through Twilio. So rankandrentengine.com if you guys want to check that out. But let's just say it's $10 a month. We'll make it easy math. So we're at $43 per month. Guys, that is your recurring hard costs done. Now, when you initially build the website, you are going to need to write the content. I prefer and recommend doing at least 2,000 words on the homepage and at least 500 to 750 words on every service page or every location page. So you have the content. I personally wrote the first 300,000 words of content on my websites. I recommend learning how to write content, because if you go and you want to hire somebody to write content, but you don't know how to write content, you're creating two jobs. Okay. So you have the content, you can do this as sweat equity. You can hire it out, but again, I would recommend you doing this yourself first. So that would cost you nothing but sweat equity. You also need to find images. Now, for me, I go and I use services like Pixlr.com, Pixlr.com. I use Pexels, P-E-X-E-L, I think it's Pexels.com. There's a few different free services. You can also go to Google Image. You can make sure that there's no copyright, whatever. You can do some filters and find that. And then you can also go and find really high quality images if you want to spend a couple bucks on images. Another thing that I do, because I pre-sell all my websites for those of you that don't know what that means, I actually go get the deal first with the business owner before I ever build. I actually make the business owner provide photos for me as part of the deal, and they can't be photos they've used anywhere else on the internet because I don't want that linked. So I make them go and take photos at their job, which seems to be the best because it's the same environment, the same location, the same type of house, whatever. So I don't really spend money on photos. But if you don't and you decide to build, rank, and then rent, you may have to spend a little bit of money on photos. And the last thing is backlinks, which, by the way, I do all my own backlinks, or I pay my teams to do backlinks, which you can harvest for free if you know how to do it. Again, and also, by the way, you don't necessarily need backlinks to rank a website if you know how to find the right city and the right niche. I have websites, a handful of websites I've ranked without even using backlinks. Now, some of you guys are like, what are these terms? What do they do? How do they mean? We will get into that in other videos. We also talk a lot about this inside of our community, artofdre.com, ARTOFDRE.com. That's our free Facebook group. Also on our Discord channel, we talk more in depth. And of course, we talk about all this stuff, A to Z, soup to nuts, inside of Digital Landlords, which is our inner community, our paid community where the players freaking play. Guys, I total all this up. You guys are $50 to $80 per month to build one of these projects. Again, I have made $53,300 from the website that I showed you. 53.3 exactly. I make $375 per week. The client has been with me since 2020, all through all the pandemic, all through all the recession, all through everything. $53,300. I've spent $50 to $80 per month recurring on this project that it's cost me. Now, it probably took me about a week to 2 weeks to build up front. And then a little bit of time, we had to add some photos, we had to do some content, we had to get a little bit of love. But once this thing's ranked, started ranking, we have not even touched it. $80. I don't even know how to calculate the return. It's basically an infinite return. If you look at the cash on cash return, it is basically an infinite return. Guys, can't believe if you are watching these videos, I guess the question I would want to ask you to end is, what's stopping you from getting started? Why have you not started? Why does everybody not have 10 of these? Why does everybody not have their bills paid? Why doesn't everyone calculate their bills? What's your car payment? What's your house payment? What's your grocery bill? What's your this, and this? Okay, it's 12K per month. Why don't you go get enough sites to pay your monthly nut so you can become free? Why doesn't everybody do this? I didn't even know what a domain was, 8 years ago. My little brother Porter, who just hit $9,400 per month, didn't even know what this was 18 months ago. We are making serious money, making real money that is giving us the lifestyle that we want, to travel wherever we want, buy what we want to do, buy what we want to buy, take care of the people that want to take care of. Why have you not started? Check out the Facebook group, check out the Discord channel. Got a free training at rentsimplesites.com, and I will see you inside of those communities. Guys, appreciate you on this video, being on this video, watching me on this video. We'll see you on the next one. I'm out.